presiding officers of Parliament, two houses, National Assembly Speaker Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula and Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Amos Masondo, will give details of the preparations for the 9th BRICS Parliamentary Forum. SABC News reporter Khayelihle Khumalo and video journalist Siya Mhlongo are covering the story. Let's cross to them live now. Khayelihle, good morning to you. I think let's talk about what we're expecting to see happen today.
Well, that's right, ladies. So we're expecting a very comprehensive details about some of the very eminent guests who will be coming to South Africa to attend the BRICS Parliamentary Forum Assembly. And you know that it's been preceded by the BRICS Summit that was held here in South Africa, really looking at a litany of important global issues. So now it's about deepening parliamentary diplomacy, but also making sure that these BRICS countries are able to respond to these challenges, but also looking at the collaborations. But lady, we do have the parliamentary spokesperson here, Mr. Mothapo, to really give us more details, of course, without really revealing much, as we expect this briefing. So once again, sir, let's look at the importance of today. I would imagine a lot has gone behind the scenes to make sure that this becomes a very successful leg of this particular BRICS now.
Yeah. No, as you will imagine, this is a culmination of months of hard work, of preparation. Even at the time that you guys were focused, as a country, we should have on the BRICS Summit that took place in Sandton, we're busy with our own preparation so that once they are done, the parliaments of BRICS come together to reflect on the decisions and the resolution that will have been taken there. So, as you will see in this area, since you arrived in this plenary area, this is where the plenary of the BRICS Parliamentary Forum Assembly will be taking place. All the delegates from the BRICS countries will converge here, as well as the delegations from the Parliament. And you will see that this is a hive of activity around this place, the Emperor's Palace, with all the branding and everything, the final touches to the preparations. But it all systems go, as you correctly say. The presiding officers will be coming shortly in an hour's time to brief the media about the details of the BRICS Parliamentary Forum Assembly, the content of the discussions over the next 2 days, and also generally who are who constitute the dignitaries, as well as the speakers of various foreign parliaments that will be converging here at the Emperor's Palace. So all the details will be given at 1:30.
And just once again, say, it comes in the wake of the BRICS Summit that we saw in South Africa. A number of decisions were taken. Yeah. I would imagine that the parliaments in the BRICS countries really do have a very important role in terms of the oversight, in terms of the executive, making sure that we do see the execution of these all-important decisions.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's why the presiding officers, when they come at 1:30, they will actually dive into those details to say that having had, as a country, successfully hosted the BRICS Summit, then what is the way forward in terms of the responsibilities of various parliaments of the BRICS countries with regard to the resolutions, with regard to the decisions that have been taken. So they will go into the details as part of unpacking the agenda of the next 2 days of the BRICS Parliamentary Forum.
And also looking at the theme, it's about harnessing multilateralism, and we do know that that's a very big topic, globally in terms of what's happening, but also in the African continent as well. For South Africa, the chairship of BRICS has been about developing and harnessing that partnership with the continent. Tell us about your relationship with the African parliaments, just in this regard.
Well, as you know, we, as South Africa, we're the host to the Pan-African Parliament. It shows how South Africa takes its role within the continent. And of course, the Speaker, I'm sure, when she is addressing the media, the presiding officers will speak about also the presence of the delegation from the Pan-African Parliament as well, because of the strong concentration of within the theme of this assembly in terms of the role that as Africa we have to play in a global world.
All right, so thank you so much indeed for your time. So we're certainly, Naledi, looking forward to that media briefing at 1:30 here at Emperor's Palace. So that's where we're going to hear from the presiding officers in terms of the details. But we do understand that the speakers from the BRICS countries will be part and parcel of these very important discussions. As you know, that the world is facing a litany of challenges. So there's a great deal of expectations in terms of BRICS bloc, especially in the global south, to address all these issues.
Yeah, and I think that obviously the details will come out in that press briefing around the countries represented. I know that obviously it will be the 5 BRICS countries and their parliament represented. One wonders though if we would start to see the representation of the BRICS members that would be joining from 2024, Khayelihle. Do we know that at this moment?
Well, at this particular point in time, Naledi, we are still awaiting for more details from the presiding officers. But, I mean, it's going to be a very interesting time because, as you know, that the world is grappling with a litany of issues. I mean, whether you're looking at climate change and also whether you're looking at the issues of economic development. Also, how we've heard about the transformation of the financial institutions. For example, you do know that the parliaments do have a very critical role to play in terms of the crafting of the legislations that can really change that and really pave a way for these all-important changes. But as to whether the newly joined members of BRICS are going to be part of these proceedings, we're still awaiting for more details from the presiding officers. But what we can tell you is that the Emperor's Palace really is a hive of activity as everyone is getting ready for the 3-day or so where the proceedings really will just get underway, where they will have a very all-important task of making sure that the parliaments within the BRICS bloc are able to address all these issues facing the countries.